It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Hey, they thinking I'm triggered, you better pull it. I'm the last dragon, first nigga to bite the bullet. I'm one of the illest to pursue this. Niggas is foolish to play with me, but I'm sticking to it. You gotta check for the publishing. I might need a Pulitzer, out of Jekyll and Hyde's. Flipping these people are puzzling. They come from my perspective. The love is so humble and disagreeing. They attack you. They wish they could muzzle them. Got respect for the miles. Wrist chilly, I covered it. Took a covenant. Promised to get this cheese. No assistance from the government. Suffering in this city just enough to get by. Now I laugh at my struggle similar to Kawhi. Money and murder, we know that it's sanctioned. I only trust Benjamin Franklin. I feel like I'm Langston with a hue opposite of my sanctum. All these rap niggas, y'all stand, I lyrically spanked them. Top of the morning for me. If I was single, I asked for a date with Glorilla Speedy. That's pretty Mormon of me. My tumbo finger meaning nobody scoring on me. The last second I'm pulling like Robert Horry, homie, please. Everything I spend to appease. I've been the best since Pinstripe Lees. I've been the beast since franchise snapping in them big white tees. I'm feeling blessed and I ain't even sneeze, so grip these, nigga. I'm a creator, no Tyler. Pull heat from the hip, make them shake like Tyler. That's a double entendre. The boy gotta glow like a 9 to all these brands on the nigga. You would think I was sponsored. Shout, it might need a podcast. Feedback on the mic like a fucked up broadcast. These birds ran through, gotta look up the Carfax. Realist in 4K, gotta step up your format, nigga. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be getting into Bryson Tiller. All right. Now, he recently did an interview with Rory and Mal. He talked about his career from day one, how he got into music, how he started uploading his music up on SoundCloud, and eventually it ended up taking off with the song Don't. Interestingly enough, he originally uploaded the song onto SoundCloud and took it down because he was insecure about the record. His homeboy ended up sending him a text and was like, "Hey, bro, I'm over here playing this record. I'm getting some feedback. The girls in the area, they liking it. You need to get that song back up." So once he actually uploaded it at a later time, I think the same day or next day, the record ended up taking off because people were looking for it. So if you don't know about Bryson Tiller and kind of his mental state as it pertains to his career in music, he's kind of been living in that same kind of situation the whole time. Make music, feel insecure about it, not be sure if anybody likes it, put it out, and once it's out, he really don't like it. He really doesn't like to perform. He really doesn't like anything about it, I guess, other than the creation process. I think that's the challenge for him, is like coming up with the song itself, going in the studio, creating. I think that's the challenge for him. And then once he conquers that challenge, it's no longer interesting to him. And for him, now that he's been thrusted into the public eye, it's a little weird for him because he has never gotten over whatever that little thing, that quirk is about the music making process, where it kind of puts him in a weird position. That's why he's been very elusive. If you look at him in recent years, he doesn't really like play into the industry. He doesn't really be around a lot of people. He drops and then he disappears, all this different type of stuff. I think he's trying to go into the video game business or something like that, and anime and all that stuff. He's more interested in that. So it's very interesting. But in the interview, they also talked about how when he was first putting the song Don't out, that he ended up hearing from Timbaland. Now, y'all know we've talked about Timbaland a couple times recently on my channel, and it hasn't been all that good, right? We had to talk about the Timbaland AI. We had to talk about Timbaland feeding people's music into the AI. We had talks about Timbaland taking somebody's beat and putting it into his AI. We had to talk about Ryan Wild, who he was in her comments, angry that she was calling him out and basically, saying, "Hey man, that ain't it. You a legend. We expect more from you." He was mad at her. He shitted on her music. She dissed his ass, flamed his ass up. She went viral after everything took off. She did an interview with me over here on Inside the Industry. her song Comments dissing Timbaland is now like super viral. Been posted on all types of viral pages, stuff like that. Timbaland still in her motherfucking comments, right? But now we get to go back about a decade ago, and Timbaland, actually Bryson Tiller originally said he spoke to Timbaland before Don't Ever came out. Timbaland heard his songs, wasn't crazy about his music to begin with. He was like, not crazy about it. Don't blows up. Next thing you know, Timbaland's making calls. He wants to meet again. Tells Bryson to fly out to Miami to work on some music. Bryson ends up creating the majority of the Trap Soul project that basically is his, to a lot of people, his classic contribution to music. And while he was making that project, Timbaland didn't like those records either, the most popular ones. So he sent him back home to Louisville and basically stranded him, left him for whatever. I don't want to say left him for dead, but left his ass hanging out to dry. You know what I mean? Told him to quit his job, the whole nine, to come fuck with me. They worked together for a couple days in the studio. He discards him after telling this young man to quit his job. Now, luckily for Bryson, he ended up blowing up and having a career for himself and being able to take care of his family. But at the time, he was not a star. He was not signed. He didn't have proper representation. He was just, I believe, working at a fucking pizza place, and he was trying to figure it out. I think he was also on the verge of quitting music altogether to focus on real life because he had a child. So we're going to pull up the video of him explaining that. And then we're also going to get further into the thought process of Bryson Tiller coming out and saying he really doesn't enjoy being an artist. I've seen some people jumping on his back about saying that. I think he doesn't like being in the spotlight. But some people took it the wrong way. So we're going to get into both of those clips.
And then I finally uploaded that song, and I got a call from Rich, and he was like, "Yo, Timbo, want to holler at you." I was in a movie theater. I just had to get off an argument with my girl at the time, and I was down bad. He was like, "Yo, quit your job, whatever." Well, actually, I told him, I was like, "Yo, I can't come to Miami because I got to work." He said, "This is work," and I was like, "Well, what you saying? You saying like I should quit my job or something?" He was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I bet." So I literally went to my job. I couldn't wait.
Now, mind you, Bryson is probably 19, maybe 20 at the time or some shit. Like he's 18, somewhere between 18 and 20. So he's at a very tender age. He's trying to figure life out. And Timbaland says, "Hey man, come to Miami, let's work." He say, "I gotta work." He said, "Nigga, what you mean? This is work. Quit your job and get down here." Now, if somebody tells you to quit your job to come work, and this is Timbaland, a music legend, producer extraordinaire, produced for all your favorite artists and gave them hits on hits on hits. Yeah, chances are that person's gonna drop what they're doing and think that Timbaland either wants to sign me or he wants to produce some of them hits on hits on hits for me, right? This isn't Bryson Tiller at 36 years old or even 26 years old making the decision. He's much younger.
Flew back. I was in Philly, actually. Flew back to Louisville. Drove the whole way. First, we was taking turns on the way to Philly. This way, I drove all the way back by myself.
Wait. So you driving from Philly to Louisville, knowing that Timbaland just told you, "Yo, quit your job."
Yep.
How fast was you driving? Because I know that got to be like, I got to get to Louisville right now.
I was speeding, dog. Like, I was really trying to get back. My car was fucked up. I didn't even care, but I just had to get back so I could go to my job and be like, "Yo, I'm quitting." And I went to go tell them. I said, "Yo, the Timbaland wants to work with me." I think they really thought I was talking about like the boot company or something. I was like, "Yo," they was like, "All right, man. Well, yeah, I mean, we wish you the best."
Footwear it is. That's hilarious.
So I was like, "All right, cool." So I went down there. And, I recorded like maybe 3 or 4 songs from Trap Soul. And, this ain't to like slight Timbaland or nothing at all, but like he wasn't really, wasn't really rocking with him too much like that. And he was like, "Yo, we need more songs like Don't." And I was just like, "But I already got Don't." You know what I mean? I was like, "I already got that."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is, like I said, these are songs that made Trap Soul that I was playing on. And then...
which ones didn't he like?
Sorry Not Sorry, Been That Way.
Was that like the third single?
Yeah. It was a couple of them that he wasn't really rocking with. And then I got back home, and then like he gave me like a little bit of cash whenever I got back home. And, you know, that cash was running out. And I was like, dang, so, like, how does this work? Am I, like, signed right now? So I called him up. I was like, yo, so, like, when am I going to get my next payment? You know,
you told me to quit my job.
Papa John's, they pay me every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they was like, and my boy Rich was like, yo, Timbaland said he never told you to quit your job. And I was like,
nah.
Oh my God.
Hey, Tim, what
The good old bait and motherfucking switch. Come quit your job, man. Get out here. I gotta work. Nigga, this is work. Get your ass down here. Work on a few records. I'm not really feeling it. You can go back home now. Okay, cool. Slide a nigga a little money. He like, shit, man. Am I signed? Like, am I your artist? Are we working? Or are we building a relationship here? Am I getting another payment? You know, I'm going back home to life where I got bills and family and shit, human fucking necessities. Where do I stand? You got some more bread for me? What's happening? I quit my fucking job to come work with you. He said, he hit him with the Debo. I never said quit your job. Come on, man. I ain't never told him to quit his job. Why you do that? To come work with you, motherfucker. That's what you told him to do.
What you doing, dog? What's up, man? What you doing
I was sick, dog. I was sick because like my girl at the time was already looking at me crazy because like I quit my job. You know what I mean? And that was how we was taking care of our kids.
Right.
So I was like, I had to figure something out. My dog Gerald actually is the one who helped me end up getting my daughters like Christmas presents or whatnot. But anyways, at that point, that was when I realized I was like, all right, I just gotta keep going. I came up here to New York. I recorded Exchange, and like a couple of other joints, Right My Wrongs, like from trap. So I just basically started making trap soul, and then next thing you know, it was like every week something was happening. Every week something amazing was happening. I just couldn't believe it. It was like a wildfire, and that's like that's what I you know, these labels and these people, they always want you to get on social media and do the dances and do everything to promote your music. But I just genuinely believe that, like, if the music is good, it's going to catch. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
one thing I did notice about you. You don't really play the social media game like that.
All right. So there's that story about Bryson Tiller and Timbaland. You know, it didn't really go that far. The money didn't stretch that far, but he still was able to create a career for himself, and the stars aligned as they were supposed to. And it probably is for the better that he didn't end up in Timbaland's stable, because who's to say that his career ever would have taken off being with him? That's not a slight at Tim. Excuse me. It's really just how the world works. When you're at the right place at the right time with the right people, things happen. If you're not in alignment, it could prolong that journey. It could completely throw off that journey. You can end up in a totally different space than had you been with the right people, right? So I don't think it was in the cards for him to actually work with Timbaland at that capacity at that time. Okay, now I want to take a moment here, because the reason I'm doing this video is to tell this Bryson Tiller story, but to also, and I hope nobody takes it like I'm just here to shit on Tim, because I'm not. But there's an artist by the name of Zara Scully. And Zara Scully kind of went viral around the same time that AI shit was in the atmosphere. We were all talking about it. But Zara Scully is another artist that Timbaland discovered doing his live streams, his TikTok lives, Timbo I Do or whatever. So he gassed this young lady up, got her all hyped, called her like the most refreshing thing he's ever heard. And the song that she played for him on the stream, he told her to put that song on reserve so that they could work on it together and they could put it out. So she was going to release it. He said, no, do not put that record out. We're going to do it together. And that day never came. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull this clip up of Timbaland hearing her song for the first time.
What? Hold on.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You about to bring tears to my eyes. God. Wow. Chat, do you hear that? We haven't heard a song that reminisce of the great Whitney Houston in years.
Whitney Houston now. That what he said.
Rest in peace, Whitney. I know she got a hit. Boy, I've been on this live for almost 5 years streaming. I never heard that.
Wow.
I heard Anita Baker, but I never heard Whitney. Wow.
She don't even sound like
And
Whitney.
ooh, hit it again. Go back to the top.
I saw you were a person. Found out you're just a hurt one.
That sound like Whitney Houston to y'all. No disrespect to Zara. She's talented.
I was holding on to what we had. I want my time back. You lost me when you lost you. No, it's not my job to save you. It's not my job to save you or to stop it.
He throwing his hands up like he got the Holy Ghost. And the song is dope. So this is solid. All right. So in her caption here, she says, Tim told me not to put it out because he wanted to put it out with me, right? So he wanted to partner with her. I would assume he wanted to produce around the record, give it a little bit more, I don't know what the song would actually need. The song is just fine the way it is. It's supposed to be a stripped down acoustic type of ballad situation. I don't know what he was going to do. But he wanted to be a part of it. So he says, no. Don't put that song out. You got to put it out with me. She says, he called me after this, told me I changed his life and that he was going to retire me from serving because she works in the food industry as a server, getting tips, being a waitress. You know what I'm saying? Very reminiscent of what Bryson Tiller was about 10 years ago working at Papa John's. Timbaland said, quit your job, come work with me, you got something. She then comes and says the same thing. And this is before Bryson Tiller ever came out and told this story. Bryson Tiller's video is like a week old. She put this out June 19th. Called me after this, told me I changed his life and that he was going to retire me from serving and have me do On the Radar with him to take off first week of April. Then boom, ghost. So he was going to work his relationships to get her to do an On the Radar, you know, the On the Radar with the green shit, with the green room and the mic, so she could display her talent. He was going to start taking her around allegedly to get her some footwork in the industry using he's Timbaland. These are the promises he made to her back in April of this year. Then boom, ghost. Same thing with Bryson. She says, people get busy. Tim hears another artist he gets excited about, and I fall to the back. That's life. Let this be a lesson. Please learn from me. Never hold up on your releases on a promise from someone. Make it happen for yourself. I've held off on releasing so many songs for years because of random promises from people like Tim. This summer, I will be releasing a lot of music with people who see eye to eye and have a vision just like mine. Thank you, God. So this was 9 weeks ago. Zara Scully came out and let it be known. Pretty much the same story. He heard her music on his live. She sent music into him. He did this over dramatic reaction, acted like he had heard gospel for the first time, and even compared her to Whitney Houston when we can all attest she's talented. She's got a beautiful voice. She don't sound like Whitney. She said she had plans of putting this song out. He said, hold your horses. No, you can't do that yourself. We got to let your boy get a little something, a little piece of that. I need in on that. I could take you on the radar. I could take you here. I could take you there. I'm going to retire you from working as a server. Work with me. You can go far. She believed him. So she didn't release the song when she originally thought that she wanted to. And then the day never came that they were going to partner on that release. This is Timbaland in 2025, people. That was Timbaland over a decade ago. This is Timbaland 2025. What am I supposed to do with that? Very disappointing. And he wields too much power based on his talent, based on his track record, based on his catalog, to be going around doing shit like that. Again, she said, hey, I understand people get busy, but damn. He showed up in her comments like he did for Ryan, talking about something, hey, I sent you a text. You ain't never get back to me. Come on now, man. She corrected him on that shit too. Now, getting back to the Bryson Tiller interview, this is another part that went very viral a few days ago, where he says he hates being an artist. I only make music to feed my family. If Drake or Chris Brown ask me to write for them forever, I'll quit making music, all right? And a lot of people was slapping him in the back of his haircut because of this, or no haircut, because he ain't been getting a cut like that lately. No shots. But they were slapping him in the back of his fucking neck for making this comment. I'm going to go ahead and play it.
I really only do it to feed my family and take care of people, bro. You know, like being an artist right now. And it took me a long time to really get my money right and figure shit out and how now I'm straight and my family's straight. But for a minute, I was like really struggling there, like trying to get it back and figure out what the hell I was going to do. But like, you know, if I could, you know, if somebody called me, if Drake called me tomorrow and said, hey, bro, like, just write for me for the rest of, you know, whatever, whoever, Chris, yo, just write for me, or all these people, like, I would stop being an artist right away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working on the game right now. I've been studying game design for like 5 years. And, you know, granted, I'm not doing it really for the money, but like the moment I have some success in something else that can feed my family the same way I'm feeding my family right now and take care of the people, I'm done being an artist, you know, just because, like, why? You know, because every time I release some stuff, it eats away at me. Like, it's a huge energy pool, no matter if it's received what. I just don't like being talked about, to be honest with you. I don't like being in the public.
Even if it's good?
Even if it's good. I don't care, because it's like, you know, it's balanced. Like, if people are talking good about something, you know, that's always going to be like people that are talking bad because they want to be different.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, oh, well, no. So I'd rather not be talked about.
Honestly, when I hear him speak, I think he needs a therapist. I think he's got some long-standing depression. Now, I'm not here to diagnose him. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any of the like. But I've seen him speak this way for the last like 2 years at least, since he's been like kind of doing interviews again. And that's what it feels like to me, is that he's got some dark energy pulling at him. You know what I mean? Not to say that he is a dark person, but I think that there's some things, some unworked trauma there that makes him come across that way. You know what I mean? He says just releasing music is a severe energy pull on him. Now, I can understand your energy being pulled to do interviews, to do meet and greets, to perform. Remember, Summer Walker didn't used to like to perform at all. She was actually literally standing in one spot on stage and people were like, what the fuck is going on? So there's definitely introverted people that would rather be able to put their music out there for the world, consume it, listen to it, like it, love it, enjoy it. But everything else, that's really not their concern, right? They're in the business of, I go in the studio, I make the song, I put it out. But for Bryson, he doesn't even like putting his music out. He just likes the process of making it. But since he's a commercially viable artist, to a degree, because he's not the most popular guy these days, it has to go out. It has to be this thing. He has to make the announcement. He has to be the front-facing person. So he says he would much rather work behind the scenes. He would rather write for Drake or Chris Brown or any other artist in the industry that enjoys being in the spotlight. He would rather be behind the scenes and still have some, I guess, normalcy to his life rather than being recognized everywhere he goes. But I think some of the fans out there, they felt disrespected of him saying, you know, how much he wants to get out of the industry or all of these different things. But you gotta walk in these people's shoes too. The industry is a fucked up place. The industry is a dark place. These labels that these artists are signed to, for the most part, they never have the artist's best interests at heart. You know what I mean? Which is why you got to come to the table with your own management, your own team, your own people that can solidify your piece, because you're entering into a space where everybody sees you as a commodity. Everybody sees you as something that can bring value to them, how they can make a coin off of you, or to put you in the room somewhere, or put you here or there to make themselves look good. Because when Bryson Tiller becomes a successful artist, yes, he's becoming a success for himself. There is a financial kickback from himself that trickles down to his family. But really the person impacted is the person who brought Bryson Tiller to the fold. That's another stat. You know what I'm saying? However many hits we can get out of Bryson Tiller, that just boosts up my stats. I didn't do nothing. I didn't produce it. I didn't write it. I didn't put him in the studio. I didn't inspire him to make music. Just off of him doing what he's already doing, and I'm associated with it, and I am the one that is his A&R at the time, or I'm the executive at the label responsible for signing Bryson Tiller, as he puts his blood, sweat, and tears and pain into his music. Those stats run up for me, for the benefit of my company, which brings us millions upon millions of dollars. He'll get his millions. It's going to take a little while for him to get his millions up. We get ours immediately. And then they play on your head top once you start asking questions and saying, hey, man, how much money have I really made y'all? They're going to be like, I don't know. Audit us. Fuck it. And then you got to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to audit the label and see how much they actually made off of you compared to what you've brought home for yourself. So I think people got to walk in those shoes. You know, it's not the same as a traditional 9-to-5 job. At least with a 9-to-5, you agree to what your salary is. You know what your bonus is. You know what your benchmarks are. You know what time you're clocking in, clocking out, going home to your family. There is no clock in and clocking out in entertainment. You're always on the clock, even when you're not. Because you could say some shit and you thought that you was in private. Nope, it's public. We live in a social media landscape now where even when you texting your homies, your private texts are subject to be leaked out and then people form an opinion about you. So I see where he's coming from, but not everybody is willing to like look at things from that perspective. And I know some people are probably mad at him for like saying that he would write for Drake or whatever the case may be, but him and Drake ain't even tight. You know, I just think he used Drake as an example because he's a big hit maker. He's a big front-facing artist. Drake loves to be in the spotlight. That's what he wants. That's what he gears his entire existence around, is being the biggest. So he like, shit, for niggas like that want that attention, that want that adoration from the crowd, that want that fanfare, I would much rather feed them my ideas, let them go crazy with it, get my little kickback financially, and just go off and do cool shit with my family. I think he could. I think he absolutely could. I think he could make a living doing other shit today, musically. But he's probably locked into a contract. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit on my almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no gunner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.